Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the start of a new semester, and I'd particularly like to welcome new faculty and staff. Let's give them a round of applause. I would like to add a special note of welcome to the faculty and staff working in the new Clay Riddell program in political management, which is just beginning this week. It's a rare privilege and a challenge to begin a new program with a roster of completely new faculty. So welcome to you. And while we're saying welcome, I would like to particularly thank all of the staff that worked all weekend to make sure our students got moved in so smoothly and so happily. And I'd also like to thank the student facilitators who ran up and down. They must have climbed Mount Everest over the weekend, the number of times they ran up and down the stairs. So please join me in thanking them all. So I didn't ask anyone to introduce me, as I think you probably know me. And in the event that I've escaped your notice somehow and perhaps managed to look better and hopefully not worse than my pictures, I am Roseann O'Reilly Runte, the president of Carleton University. Many universities have a tradition of having the president address faculty and staff in the new year to review the accomplishments of the past and to state the goals for the coming year. Carleton had such a tradition, and today I'd like to reinstate it. During the course of the year, we will hold town halls where we will focus on specific interests of specific issues of passionate interest, such as enrollment, the budget, and the financial outlook. On these occasions, we will open the floor to questions and do our very best to respond. Today, you and your accomplishments and what we will do together to continue along our path of success are the subjects of the address. And rather than conclude with a question period, we will close with a short musical presentation to begin the year in beauty and harmony. And I'd like to thank Professor McGowan. He was right there. Oh, there he is. He's agreed to play a piece of his own composition appropriately entitled New Beginnings. So thank you very much, Professor McGowan. Earlier this year, one of my former students who is writing a book on post-colonial theory shared with me an essay by Homi Bhabha. It was entitled Unpacking My Library Again. I immediately thought of sharing it with our librarians who are going through some packing and reorganizing of books and materials right now. However, the essay is perhaps more appropriate as a metaphor for all of us as we begin a new semester. Bhabha wrote that having arrived at a new university posting, he was opening the crates of his books to place them on the shelves. And usually, all of us have our own system for organizing our books in the office by subject, title, field. But movers have their own way of organizing books, and they put all the books of the same size in the same box. This, as Bhabha noted, results in some very interesting juxtapositions and caused him to write an essay on new critical thinking, crossing fields. And I'm now thinking of our students who will open many books this year and create new intersections of thought, arriving in your offices one day with some very interesting new ideas. I'm also thinking of your classes and the new innovative programs of study and research that have been created at Carleton. I truly believe that we have more innovative programs at Carleton than elsewhere. We are not just rearranging the books on the shelves, but putting together ideas from different disciplines that will create new theories, new ways of solving the problems of the world. But while I'm on the subject of the library, I'd like to pause to celebrate our new archives, the Cardinal Architecture Archive, the Public Policy Archives, the Susskind Music Archives, and the CETA International Archives. I would also like to show what the McGodrum Library will look like in 18 months or so. We received this summer a generous grant from the province of Ontario to proceed with the first phase of renovations. They include adding 2 floors and moving the north wall further into the quad, replacing it with glass. The library will be filled with light. It will be a place for people to study, where they will want to study. It will be both functional and beautiful. It will also remain open throughout the renovations. Every effort will be taken to accommodate users while proceeding expeditiously with the work. A curtain or temporary wall will close off the areas under construction. And in just 18 months, we can all assist Margaret Haynes and her staff in unpacking the library again. So this is a wonderful thing for our entire campus. It will be a beacon of light and hope for the future. Other construction on campus is proceeding apace. The River Building will be the largest building on campus, and move-ins are now scheduled for January. It unites the campus with the river. The road passing under it symbolizes progress and our ability to remove obstacles and adopt change. The internal courtyard brings nature inside and perfects the link between the environment and this environmentally friendly building, one of the top 3 in Canada, and one of the other top 3 is our environment and engineering science building that was opened last year. The lobby in the new River Building includes a green wall, and the 440-seat lecture hall is simply spectacular. I know you're all going to be raising your hands wanting to teach there immediately. The new student residence opened yesterday at less than 100% completion. However, it looks very good and the rooms are excellent. The fortunate students will not be charged rent for the month of September in compensation for the inconvenience. And they all seemed quite happy yesterday. In fact, several of the parents noted that they thought the rooms were much larger than rooms at other universities, and they all thought the move-in went more smoothly. The student volunteers were incredible. They ran with alacrity up and down stairs, toting more equipment than I could ever imagine a student would need. I saw, besides fridges, electric shredders, I guess in case of error, and a bread maker in case the bagel shop is too far. The new residence commons will also be completed later this fall and will provide additional space for our students to dine, and also a lively, contemporary, urban and edgy architecture suited to the mostly youthful nature of our student body. It is wrapped in translucent material to take best advantage of external light, and it will be a beacon at night, drawing students to our campus. We need the additional space for our new students. More excellent students have chosen Carleton as their first choice, and enrollment has increased by approximately 6%. The number is not official until November. We have done a capacity study this summer and have determined that we can continue to grow modestly and that we must grow to obtain necessary funding for the new programs that have been created over the last year, as well as those currently in the planning process. The new programs include the Bachelor of Engineering in Architectural Conservation and Sustainability, new concentrations in supply chain management and entrepreneurship in the Bachelor of Commerce, and 4 new concentrations in biology. At the graduate level, there are PhDs in architecture, legal studies, and a new master's in human-computer interaction, political management, architecture, women and gender studies, religion, and public life. Quite an array of programs. The new Confucius Center will open later this year and will offer courses in the Chinese language for students and members of the community, including business travelers. Carleton University participates in the National Survey of Student Engagement, and we note that over the last 3 years, student satisfaction has increased. 2-year retention is over 80%. And our students were busy not only on campus, but around the world. The Legal Studies Society, I'm just going to name a few things. The list was incredible. The Legal Studies Society participated in a mooting tournament at Osgood Hall, placing 6th out of 52 teams. That's no moot feat. The Classics Society produced a handsome journal, Corvus. the IEEE student branch organized a code jam, and that has nothing to do with what we spread on our toast, but a programming competition that challenges students to complete progressively more complex algorithmic problems. The Model United Nations at Queen's University saw Carleton students win an unprecedented 7 out of 8 Best Delegate Awards. Our Sprott students placed second overall in the Jeux du Commerce, Central Business Competition. Our engineers were busy competing in a formula hybrid competition, a moon buggy competition, and a toboggan race, which seemed rather challenging to me, especially because of the choice of materials. The toboggans were made of popsicle sticks, dental floss, white glue, and toothpicks. Good luck. The South Asian dance team won the Best Theme, Best Classical Dance, Best Bollywood Dance, Best Spirit, and Best Introductory Scene at the competition in Toronto. Our students are creative, talented, and entrepreneurial. They are also exemplary volunteers, and Sprott's 5 Days for the Homeless was one of their many exemplary activities. In sports, we are proud of all of our student athletes, including the varsity teams. The men's basketball team won its 7th national championship, and we won provincial titles in Nordic skiing and water polo. In partnership with the alumni, we were proud to announce over the summer the launch of football in 2013. And I remind you all of our promise that this will not detract or take away in any form from our academic programs or our other sports programs. Carleton University was ranked one of the top employers in the nation's capital, and we signed 5 agreements with 5 unions. University safety began the iparked.ca application, and if you read the famous book by a president of the University of Chicago who says that if you could ever have a good news story about parking, it would just be an absolute exception for a university. Well, I think we did it. But it was thanks to faculty and students figuring out a new program. The Carleton University Student Emergency Response Team garnered for the 3rd year in a row the national championship title in first aid skills. Actually, our teams placed 1st and 2nd in Canada, and in addition, as they reminded me over the weekend, they took home the Spirit Award for their positive attitude. Housing inaugurated themed communities in residence. The themes are healthy lifestyle, eco-community, creative arts and humanities, science and technology, and international global community. Changing majors will now be an existential, or at least a residential as well as an academic decision. Our new student mental health framework won the 2011 National Cabo Quality and Productivity Award, recognizing it as a model approach to helping students deal with mental health issues. And I would like to thank every faculty member and staff member who volunteered to participate in training for the program and expressing your interest and concern that we could be a leader in reaching out to our students and making this an issue that we deal with before it's a problem. Under the leadership of Catherine Graham, the Provost's office launched the first round of Carleton Innovation Forum projects. These special initiatives involve faculty, staff, and students in developing new program ideas and student experiences. They include a project with the Paul Menton Center to make Carleton a leader in accessibility disability studies, a project building on our current curriculum in environmental studies, environmental science, and engineering, a project involving students in engineering who are working in a clinical healthcare setting, a project to develop an international studies major, an assessment of practice on research with Aboriginal peoples, and a special project on interdisciplinary writing skills for students. They also did a new teaching app while they were at it, so very busy committee. In the area of research, the Canadian Foundation for Innovation just announced last week 4 significant grants in the areas of nanostructures, sustainable energy, proton therapy beams, and wind turbines for Professors Langlois, Barry, Beausoleil Morrison, and Sawakuchi. In May, the Center for Community Innovation received a 5-year, $1 million Community University Research Alliance grant to investigate responsible investing. Professor Story, the Canada Research Chair in Molecular Physics, was awarded the prestigious Fry Medal in Zoology. Professor Sinclair received the Vogt Medal for his exceptional vision and contribution to the study of neutrino physics. Professor Weiner won the Outstanding Professional Contribution Award from the Society for Modeling and Simulation International, and Professor Fye and the SIMS Lab received a $1.8 million grant, while Professor Slater was inducted into the Order of Canada. These professors and all of you have shone in the past year, and I think you should give yourselves a round of applause. Carlton International adopted a strategic plan, and major efforts to inaugurate the Canada-India Centre for Excellence in Science, Technology, Trade, and Policy were deployed. We held 2 major bilateral summits this year on education and on innovation, and we will be doing a follow-up in November in India. Carleton placed 10th in the Times World University Rankings and first in impact and publications in physics in Canada. Bravo, Carleton. In our efforts to be sustainable, we now produce 3 of our magazines online: Carleton Now, Research Works, and the Alumni Magazine. We launched the mobile app for students, which permits them to see their schedules, check their grades, and navigate their way around the campus with a map. I actually saw students using it this weekend on their cell phones, and I was truly impressed. They whipped out their phones and asked me if I needed directions. Finance and Administration received Level 1 certification in its field, and we received university-wide certification for our Healthy Workplace program. I recommend these activities highly, and I plan to attend more of them myself and hope to see you there too. Ideas at Carleton was launched, asking all members of the community to submit ideas on how we can improve the campus processes and sustainability efforts. The first winner of the draw was James Moreton from the Business Officer. Other winners included Joan de Bardeleben, who submitted 8 ideas, substantially increasing her chance of winning. One of them was installing power bars to reduce passive consumption of electricity by computers at night, and it was recommended for implementation. So please continue submitting those great ideas. In the area of service excellence, we note that many teams came together from across the campus, including the EDC CCS Web CT support team. University safety was also recognized. Sandy Herbert from the Department of Law was recognized for her individual efforts, and Jerry Rondeau, Bruce Ham, Judith John, and Quang No were all recognized for their teamwork. Joni Campbell won the Betty Weiss Breakthrough Leadership Memorial Award, while Elizabeth de Sabato won the Barbara Wells Award. When one looks at the impressive achievements of these individuals, one must admire them and offer them sincere applause, because this is addressed not simply to faculty, but also to staff. So congratulations to the staff. University Advancement was proud to report that $5.4 million from donors to the Canada-India Centre, $2 million from the West Nickel Entrepreneurship Institute, $15 million from the Clay Ribdell program were among the many gifts transforming our campus and helping us realize our dreams. Over the last 3 years, we have, if you include the funding from the new buildings, increased our funding by $1 million every week. The Alumni Magazine was ranked the best alumni magazine in the category by the Canadian Council for Advancement of Education Awards. And Alumni Week activities brought more than 700 participants to campus. That was an increase of over 70% from the year before, and it's going to increase again, I know. For the coming year, we hope to improve student satisfaction, particularly for graduate students. We know that our graduate students seem fairly satisfied with their programs overall. Their individual programs, they say, I'm in English, it's great. I'm in engineering, it's fantastic. The rest of the programs, they think, aren't so good. So we have to persuade our graduate students that not only are they in a fabulous department, but that fabulous department is located in a terrific university where all the programs are great. And I think you can help with that little PR effort. We've added many new programs and need to find ways to bring the students together across disciplines. We've also committed to improving residents' life. We will develop a new strategic plan for IT, and we will continue to work to resolve the pension issue and to improve our financial picture, which is not at all bad when compared with other universities, but can, like everything else, improve. We will all need to be especially vigilant in these difficult economic times and try to find efficiencies and cost savings. We also note these are interesting political times, and we have to be concerned about the university's budgets during times of promises and hope that all the promises are met. We need to focus on our priorities. We will participate vigorously in the negotiations with the provincial government for new funding agreements. This means that we must continue to distinguish and enhance the factors which make Carleton unique. We have to stress yet again the Carleton identity and explain how we are different from other universities. Here, our strategic and academic plans will be of considerable assistance. We are distinguished by our location in the nation's capital. We are international and interdisciplinary. We are innovative and entrepreneurial, dedicated to solving the problems of the world. We are a university where teaching and research are both important and are integrated and continue to grow together. We are a university where co-op is important and is growing in importance. We are a university that cares about its community and is engaged with the world around us through experiential learning and volunteer service. Among our interdisciplinary efforts, environment and sustainability, health, digital media, and globalization are strong and important themes, and they are visible not only in the new programs created recently, but they will continue to be visible in programs in the future. We will continue to make every effort to make the campus an exciting and pleasant place to live and work. Lectures by Nobel laureates and international leaders populate our agendas and offer us inspiration and link to internationally significant ideas and debates. The Club of Rome recently published a paper called The World in 2052. It states that we can choose between a perfect storm of progressively deepening crises and expanding perspectives of unprecedented opportunities. The cup half empty or full. It concludes, humanity has the opportunities, the tools, the science, the technology, and the insight to overcome the systemic crisis and to move into a better world. Whether we manage to do so will depend on each one of us." End quote. The paper offers a vision for a better world, but totally neglects the important role education must play in any attempt to achieve a better world. For without education, we will not have the tools we require, the knowledge of the past to avoid error, the creativity to find new paths for action, and the wisdom to know that change depends on more than each individual, and instead on the work of many people together. There is a book called Meeting of the Waters. It tells the story of the creation of the Erie Canal. It begins with the enumeration of the most extraordinary feats of engineering, and it vividly recounts the ways engineers had to make water and boats flow uphill and how they had to build locks in sheer rock walls. The story lauds the brilliance of engineers and scientists, and see the Dean of Engineering sitting there smiling right now. But the book also tells the story of how the canal was almost not built. It was created through great vision, a trade route linking east to west. It would assure economic prosperity and the livelihoods of all those residing along the banks. It received political support, and the adoption of the project was the result of vigorous campaigning and intelligent strategy, and of course, a modicum of luck. So the canal was not only the result of successful science and engineering, but also of economists, writers, politicians, and people willing to invest in the future. Today, the age of shipping by water has passed, and so have the small towns along the Erie Canal. The economy along the canal is dismal, and the people are in desperate need of a new project, a strategy for success, a reason for hope. They need Carleton University. Think of Ottawa. Government and education are the two sectors which continue to flourish and offer the capital region the promise of potential growth through knowledge and the economy, while the canal is a nice tourist attraction. Today, we all face some challenges. However, as we walk along the picturesque banks of our Rideau Canal, we can muse on our good fortune. This feat of engineering has made our city more beautiful. It offers us a defining feature to our campus. And that steers me back to defining dreams, our strategic plan, which has been followed by an academic plan and a campus master plan. We've given ourselves the tools by which we can achieve further success. As we start the new academic year, I invite you all to work hard to achieve our shared goals, but also to dream. It might be perceived by some of you as ironic that in a time of projected cutbacks, I would encourage you to dream. Yet, if we dare not dream, if we do not set high our sights and goals, we will never have the opportunity to achieve them. If people didn't believe that a canal could change their lives, they never would have built it. We need to have the courage to dream about the future. I look forward to working with you over this year and in the years to come. We've embarked on a major endeavor to achieve the programs you desire, to continue and improve your success in research funding and results, to recruit excellent students, to continue making the campus more attractive and conducive to learning, to providing sufficient space for teaching and research, and to obtain Carleton's rightful place in the sun while finding the funds necessary to make all this possible. We are in the third year of the strategic plan. We need to continue it and then revisit, revise it, and renew it. We are at the beginning of our fundraising efforts, and together we are starting to realize some of the largest and most ambitious projects yet. I look forward to working with you for as long as it takes and as many hours in the day as it takes to achieve our goals. Carleton's motto, and I'm sure you remember it, ours the task eternal, simply means to me that a woman's work is never done. I invite you all to join me in making this a shared effort and in making the coming years Carleton's best. Thank you. And now, a new beginning.